every corner.
Mayegun don come,
Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power. Over naira, still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Mayegun don come. So my people make you ladder.
Mayegun don come,
My people make we shout.
Mayegun don come,
Mayegun don come, man of the masses.
Mayegun don come,
Mayegun diary political.
Mayegun don come,
This one not dey off in mind.
Mayegun don come,
Person wey dey do evil no wan make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too dey talk. He too dey talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day dem dey thief money in bulk. Woman pikin dey the street dey hawk. Still dem talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don come. So my people make you loud.
Mayegun don come,
My people make you shout. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó.
Mayegun diary, na you be number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó.
Mayegun diary, na you be number one.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará yìí.
Mayegun diary, na you be number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary, na you be number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun diary, na you be number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, na you be number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun diary, na you be.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun diary, na you be number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Mayegun diary, na you be number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa.
Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Go to everywhere, every corner of the globe and scream, Kere o, ará àdúgbò. Olubadan has made a famous thief from Kano, the Fiwajoye of Ibadan. Ẹgbà wá o.
Òjèlú ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
This is Sunday Sermon, the No Holds Bar segment on Mayegun's Diary Political. And as you are joining and taking your own seat in the temple of truth, I would advise you to please sit down with a pure, neutral mind. If you have already taken sides, I am obviously going to annoy you. Yeah, I am. If you have taken side, I am obviously going to get you mad and angry with what I'm going to say and how I am going to be saying them. This is the moment I don't really get diplomatic. When I want to talk on the Sunday sermon segment, I am not diplomatic. I am just truth to thought, which means it can be annoying. I am not or would not be politically correct. And whatever I say, just know that none of them is going to be a slip of tongue. Everything that comes out of my mouth on this segment is everything I mean to say. So if you are somebody who is emotionally sort of weak, I'm going to advise you, for the sake of your own mental health, don't let me make it worse for you. I am not here to appeal to the good side of you. I'm actually here to talk about something that many of you would rather I don't talk about it. But because of the impression this is going to have, or has been having, things like this have been having on our society as a people, and the reason why they have kept our people more in the eyes of their oppressors, knowing those who are your oppressors and those who are the real villains, the people you should run from, those who have abridged and then they have destroyed, desecrated the tradition, and they do so at will. And the only currency they spend, the only currency they share is fear. Don't talk like that. Mayegun, why don't you just talk about another thing? Mayegun, watch your mouth, this and that. For the sake of your own mental health, please, I will advise you, if it is going to be too much, or if it is getting too much for you, right? Just slowly, quietly opt out. Hey, yo, Meriwo. Now, tell them we are about to start. And before you do, when you share this broadcast, you should put it as a tag that Olubadan don't make Olubadan of Ibadan land in Yoruba land has made a famous thief from Kano, the Fiwajoye of Ibadan in Yoruba land. What is that message to the young people who saw the video of Gandollar, the Babariga mobile banking CEO from Kano, the thief who was taking kickback as a public official, a governor, awarding contracts, inflated contracts, in order to take a kickback from the contractors. And indeed, he did take back the kickbacks, $5 million. It is Nigeria. Rather than him being in jail, he is being celebrated, not just by his own people that he impoverished, including the Baba Jembe, Eja Jembe of Ibadan, Olubadan of Ibadan. They are not representing us, just so you know. If you are from Ibadan and you want to take offense, I understand. Well, you will just have to, that means you are actually living to your name. Ibadan, Ibadan, ibi ò lè gbé ń jàre olóhun. Wọ́n á sọ pé ìwọ náà ṣe gbé síbẹ̀ ń. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́, bọ̀ gbogbo ọmọ Ìbàdàn kọ́ ló lè. Àmọ́ àwọn olè àárín yín tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ ń sìn yín. Ó yẹ pera yín sọ pé Máyégún ti dé. Ká bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra Presido bá rú sí òru. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra ọlọ́pàá tí ń dá.
As the leaders are pretty much selfish and greedy, and the consequences of their actions has contributed so immensely to the poverty that we are currently battling with, the one we have been battling with generationally. We have been doing that for generations, from generation to generation. They contributed to that because it's pretty much about themselves. Then the victims of this greedy, selfish, adventure of the elites, the political class, and the rest of them, is being sustained by those who still believe that somehow, the criminals in charge of Nigeria actually mean well, when in fact, it is a criminal enterprise where all the stakeholders don't even identify themselves as whether from southwest or from east, from the north. Only the victims identify themselves. And when I call you victims, I'm talking about what the criminals are really doing with your money that brought you to this state of total despair, a total collapse, something that many of you are beginning to indeed scream about. But how did you get there? And why? And who are those who actually encourages it? Institutions that you would expect should know better. A thief, if you have not heard about Babariga Mobile Banking CEO, I'm talking about Gandollar. Let me share something with you. I think a little bit. Babariga Mobile Banking CEO Gandollar emerged from. What do you think the government that is fighting corruption in Nigeria said about it, even during election in 2019? A despicable place, despicable people who believe that we should all be as despicable as they are, and then expect a just, balanced, fair society. It doesn't work that way. Listen to Bokwari in 2019. What did you think about Babariga Mobile Banking CEO, a thief that should be in jail, but he's a governor?
Comment on this matter, and people are surprised they saw you on a podium with him, raising his hand and campaigning with him.
No, that's not true. I will defend myself on that. I haven't gone to Kano yet.
Right.
I have just gone to Kogi today in my venue. That clip, somebody brought it me, how the governor of Kano State was receiving dollars and smiling and putting it in his pocket. I don't know the extent of technology they use, and I can't understand it. Now, because the State Assembly has taken it, they have gone to court, I decided, not to talk about it. And the State Assembly, constitutionally, they could have dealt with that. But then I gave the matter of legal support.
Okay, but what are your thoughts about that video? Do you have any personal thoughts? Do you believe that video is fake, or do you believe it is legitimate? He can talk for himself.
As I told you, I have seen the clip. I don't know how much technology was used, but can Ganduje fail to trust somebody to get the money to him? He has to take it directly himself, smiling. I honestly am completely overwhelmed, and the system has given me some relief. It is in the court, it's in the state assembly, so let them as much as possible deal with it. But Kano, this thing has received a lot of publicity, and I hope by the time I go on my campaign for re-election, there will be some answers from the court or the state assembly in Kano State about the performance.
Yeah, that is what Bokwari said. First, he questioned the technology used. Then secondly, he said, that he was surprised that Ganduje, that is Gandollar, went on to collect the bribe by himself instead of sending somebody. Like he said he is overwhelmed to the point that the only thing he could pick out of that is that they should probe the technology, if it is real or not. Then he pushed it to the state assembly. Oh, the state assembly should go and investigate if he collected the bribe, if the video is real or not. You know what happened? The man who paid the bribe and the journalist that released the video, the Nigerian government, the Nigeria police, the Kano state government under Gandollar, they declared them wanted. Seriously, they declared them wanted. And when they found them, they arrested them for inciting public anger against a governor. Seriously. And that person today is one of the policy makers, decision makers, and is a friend of Tifnumbu. So, and he is also the Fiwajoye of Ibadan. That Yoruba sons and daughters came out to celebrate what Olubadan created. You know, in Yoruba land, in the last, especially in the last 20 years, most of the obas that we have been having, especially obas, they are not the same obas that you read about when we're growing up. Ala Ketu of Ketu, Onisabe of Sabe, Oni of Ife, Alaafin Oyo, Olubadan Ibadan, Ataoja Oshogbo, all those obas, they are not the same anymore from 20 years ago. Because traditionally, they have been reduced to the position of level 10, I've been at level 12 of civil servants under the local government administration. So how are they surviving? The Yoruba obas, many of them, including those ones who seems to be popular, we call them paramount. They are not paramount anything. Now they have been scraping the bottom of the barrel from whatever crumbs the politicians have to give to them. Meanwhile, majority of them today are product of political nomination. Yoruba obas. I'm talking about Yoruba now. So if you are not a Yoruba man, you can put your own oba or your own obi or your own emir or whatever you think is going on in your area. But I'm talking about Yoruba obas. Because they needed this money to survive, to live the extravagant life of Oba to Bale Umbubu. But they live on the crumbs from the politicians. They are now contract chasers in different government houses in Yoruba land and Abuja. And many of them, the only way they make money is to create these meaningless, useless titles for criminals in politics. Because in politics in Nigeria, one of the fraud that they are selling is that Nigeria is one. And a Fulani Hausa man from Kano is the Fiwajoye of Ibadan, even though he has nothing, no connection, no relationship, no history with the people of Ibadan. But for politics and Nigeria, the Yoruba obas have created all these fake titles. And they celebrate them because you have to buy them with money. I am from Ijebu. In Ijebu land, you can buy a title of Otumba, in Ijebu, from Awujale of Ijebu land. You can buy a title of Otumba for just 30 million naira. I don't know, maybe the economy has changed now and it has grown to 50 million or more. In Ibadan, you can buy a title or a traditional title from any traditional ruler in Ibadan. You can buy it as cheap as 1 million naira. No joke. Olubadan can make you and give you a title from nowhere that doesn't have any meaning, right? But for your own political, what have you, yeah, you can use that to say, oh, I am known all over Nigeria. I am a detribalized Nigerian. But a detribalized Nigerian that is only to fool you. When it comes to that same place that they should show that they are detribalized, where when Yoruba says, oh, we want a restructured Nigeria, do you know those who are going to vote against it? They are going to be the criminals from northern Nigeria, including Kano. When you say, hey, we need to vote for state police so that we can protect ourselves, do you know who are against it? They are all the politicians, the same one, to tribalize their rogues from northern Nigeria, because it is against the north. Do you get that now? But when it comes to all these meaningless titles that have no meaning, for real. I know some of you are like Indomie generations, yeah? We have a lot of work to do on you, a lot of reorientation, re-education, and the rest of that we have to do on you. They have fooled you a lot. And you see the generation before you, people before the millennium, before the 2000s, yeah? Many of them, they have discovered that they have been fooled as well. But ego will never let them admit. And that is why they will continue to talk down on you and tell you that, watch your mouth, while you watch the rogues desecrate things they told you should hold dearly, our tradition and culture. So the thief, like many others, they can pay for these titles, even though in reality, there is no real one Nigeria. Indeed, in reality, the Kano politicians, the Kano lawmakers, they would never vote for a restructured Nigeria. You know why? Because that is not their interest. But for a foolish Yoruba man, a dumb Yoruba woman, a completely disillusioned or illusioned Yoruba moron is building one Nigeria when a thief come to town to come and become the Fiwajoyi of their town. What is your business? I told you, I'm from Ijebu. There's nothing you are doing that they're not doing in Ijebu. Okay? I know about people buying titles. Meaningless. Otumba. In Ijebu today, Shebi normally, when we were growing up, you will see what is the Council of Oba. The Council of Oba in Yoruba land is the king as the head. Otumba as the, the right-hand man. Osi, Lukosi, is the left-hand man to the king. Then you have Akogun, you have Balogun, you have Iyalode, you have Olori Odo. Olori Odo is the youth leader. Iyalode is the women leader. Balogun is the leader of the army. It's like the general. So the council comprises of them. But guess what? If you go to Ijebu today, Awujale seat, we have more than 100 Otumbas. Otumba Cecilia Hebrew. Otumba Majeko, different Otumba. They paid for it. Is that not desecration of tradition? Because it is no longer about tradition. When Nigeria happened to the Yoruba culture, Yoruba tradition, it pushed it to the back end, just same way Nigeria pushed your identity as a Yoruba man, pushed that identity to the back and gave you the first one, the one that is so confusing, the one that is so conflicting, the one that is pretty much make many of us so lost. Who are we, Nigerians? Describe it, define it. You can't. That's the same thing that happened to our tradition. That's the same thing that happened to our own culture and all of that. They push them to the back end. They only bring them forward if they want to intimidate you, if they want to harass you, if they want to threaten you with that culture. But guess what? A generation that will never be threatened with all that nonsense is here. And we will not die with what we know until we share it with the generation coming after us. They have desecrated everything they told you to. They are telling you to hold dear. They don't give a damn about them. But guess what? As long as you are still holding them, fighting to protect them, what you are protecting is pretty much like the counterfeit of the tradition they have created. If not, are you saying that people inside Olubadan in council, they actually sat, they discussed, and they said, oh, we need to create a title for Gandollar. And they reviewed him, they did all of that. And they said, okay, yeah, now go and invite him and tell him to come and collect the title with the money. And as a Yoruba man, Oh, we are building one Nigeria. We are united. Look at them. This is what happened at the scene, especially when the Ashiwaju Awole got there celebrating thieves. Drug dealers, kidnappers, human organ harvesters and traders, economic saboteurs, politicians, thieves are to be celebrated, especially if they have money. That is on Yoruba. That is where I'm coming from. Oh. If you're a Yoruba man right now, looking like, what is wrong in that? Yoruba culture. Ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú akóṣìbérò yìí náà lẹ kó rádaràda bá culture Yorùbá, tradition Yorùbá ò kì í celebrate olè. Ṣé ojú òun tì yín ni?
Allah reminds people taking award from ulama and aimma that they must do 5 things. If they fail to do any of
You see them? And they are supposed to be honorable men and women. Our people are like $5 million. That's what the thief collected on camera. God bless, God help the people of Kano, the ones that is not on camera. That is the thief and his wife. Did you see any court convicted? Weary. You won't be the first to say it. Is that not what you do? See, esprit de corps. Aworawo. Look at them. And now that they are giving titles and all of that, everybody said, don't they put their own on, even if they don't get money, to go and give to Olubadan, to go and give to any traditional Oba in Yoruba land. Oh, come and give me title. You don't have to. Just go and get yourself any flower. That's it. Give yourself the title. Anything you want to call yourself. You know what I mean? Celebrating celebrating the desecration of our own tradition on the altar of waiting we go shop, waiting you want me then do. And from this shop by shop, that's how we ended up seeing our own brothers and sisters, our own people in our war. It's not even up to 2 weeks so that they massacred our people in our war. Olubadan and Co, Tifnumbu and gang, they are there in Ibadan celebrating a thief that is now Fiwajoye. Ask me, do you know what the meaning of Fiwajoye in English? Fiwajoye means that use your deed. You know what I mean? Your art, your doings, to get recognized and then be titled and become a chief. That's what I mean. Using your deed. You know what I mean now? Using your own deed to get recognized. Fiwajoye. That is what they call the Gandollar. It's not even up to 2 weeks so that they massacred the people in our war. Guess what? So far, so good. Look at the names of those they killed in our war. Those people inside those coffins, right? That some of those people who told you that they were mourning the dead. We are so sorry. We know how and why our people got killed, and many people got killed in our war. Today, it is part of the failing Nigeria that this elite, as you see them, they are not really, they don't give a damn. It is so sad that you, that is going to be the victim of their own misdeed, is the one feeling concerned and trying to be politically correct. Look at those names on your screen. That could be you. Any of those names could be you. Yes, these are the people that Yorubas cried, clamored and said, we need to protect ourselves. We need to at least, keep our people safe from the hands of this marauding terrorist. They said, no. If you do that, it's anti-North. It's against the northern Nigeria. You are trying to divide Nigeria. We don't want any. You know what I mean? Protecting